Hi friends, this is Krish, the Urban Naxal, and today I want to explain to you why you should not attend any property exhibition ever. Sounds like a strong statement. I'm going to justify it in just a minute. But first, let's understand what we are talking about. Guys, there are these property exhibitions, real estate exhibitions where builders have stalls. And in these stalls, they sell property. Now, how do they sell property? Well, they show you models, they show you brochures, they've got guys manning the stalls who are going to talk about it. Just talk about the property and convince you how fantastic their property is, how fantastic that flat is or that plot of land is, and so on and so forth, and that it is a lifetime offer, a once in a lifetime offer. They're going to convince you that if you don't book now, right now at this exhibition, you are going to be losing the offer of a lifetime. One such exhibition is going on currently. It is MCHI Credai's exhibition at Bandra Kurla complex on the MMRDA grounds. Now, this exhibition is currently going on. And so I know that a lot of people in Mumbai will be attending this, would already have attended it in the last 2 days. What can go wrong? Why would it go wrong? Let me explain. Guys, if you attend any exhibition, you must have attended a few. For example, you have attended bakery exhibitions, or you have attended, garments or bed sheets and, play things like that, or pottery and stuff like that. Exhibitions displaying that kind of stuff. Now, when you go to these things, sometimes you come away with just bags of pamphlets and brochures, but you have a very incomplete feeling. Most people who come away with brochures have this feeling of not having accomplished anything during the day except collect a bunch of brochures. And most people who collect brochures usually will give a commitment saying, you know what, I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to study these brochures and I'm going to come back tomorrow. Quite often people will go back the next day because the exhibition also has other things happening on the sidelines. There would be a conference, there might be a different speaker, or a bunch of different speakers every day who may be genuinely knowledgeable and expert speakers. So you want to go back to the conference. And after the conference or before the conference begins or between speakers, you want to wander around the exhibition. You also might want to go to these exhibitions. As I said, if you've gone to, garment exhibitions, etc., or textiles exhibitions, sometimes you go because you have a friend who has a stall. Someone you know has a stall and he invites you. You're unlikely to buy anything from any other stall, but from your friend who invites you, you will end up buying a bunch of stuff that you usually don't need. You may buy hand printed bed sheets and natural dyes wala nightgowns, or stuff like that, which you can usually use up. Or you'll buy a bunch of flower vases, although you don't have flowers, and you'll say, oh well, but I intend to get flowers. So things like that, you end up buying bric-a-bracs, coffee mugs you don't need, teacups and saucers you don't need, gadgets you don't necessarily need around the house. You end up buying stuff like this from household item exhibitions. And that is okay. That is okay, because if you wasted money, you wasted at most a few hundred or a few thousand rupees, which is affordable. It's not going to ruin you. It is at the most, your wife or your husband is going to say, yaar, you go to these exhibitions and you end up picking up kachra. And then you're going to stash that kachra because you can't use it around the house. So you're going to have some such conversations. But that is it. It is not going to hurt you. It's not going to ruin you. But when you go to a property exhibition, things are a little bit different here. One thing that's different is that if you let some builder convince you that this exhibition is a once in a lifetime offer, and they're pretty good at convincing you. Think about these guys as sharpshooters or snipers, okay? And you are basically the guys who run around in the open field giving these snipers a chance to shoot you. Okay, you are really in a hunter and prey kind of a situation. You may not know it, you may not realize it, but you're basically like a bunch of deer who have come to drink water out of a river, and these guys are basically like the crocodiles swimming slowly towards you. Now, will you get away without a crocodile biting you on the nose and dragging you underwater? Yeah, it's possible. You can do it. It's possible. Would you like to knowingly take the risk of having a crocodile bite you if you were a deer? I don't think that would be smart. If you are really thirsty or you can't help it, you have to desperately go to the river, yeah, but do you need a house right now? The place to go is go buy a resale property. If you wander into this exhibition because you say, hey, you know what, it's just entertainment, it is just something I'm going to do during the day to make my day or week or month feel a little special, or I like having general knowledge about property, so this is going to increase my general knowledge if I go and look around. Yeah, it will increase your general knowledge, but there is a very, very good chance that some builder or some builder's team is actually going to get you. Get you means what? Get you means if you are lucky. If you are lucky, get you means you swipe the token, you give 50,000 or 1 lakh or 2 lakh, some such amount, which to you, though not trivial, it won't kill you. You'll give that money. You'll realize after a week or 2 weeks that you made a foolish impulse purchase and you cannot follow through with that purchase. You can't buy that house actually. You swipe the token and then you go back to a builder, to the sales office, and you say, give me my money back, and they will say, our company's policy is we don't give you the money back. Now, just to make things more complicated, maybe they gave you a small thing costing 500 rupees or 800 rupees or something, maybe a gold coin. Okay, few thousand rupees. They gave you a gold coin. They will say, sir, our policy is you participated in our gold coin contest at the exhibition, and so we gave you the gold coin. Yes, we took a token of 50,000 rupees. We gave you the gold coin costing maybe 8,000 or 10,000 rupees. But sir, it is not about the cost. You participated, you willingly participated in this event, in this thing. And so you swiped a token. Now we can't refund it. It's not our company's policy. Now, what you guys can't figure out most of the times is, this has nothing to do with the company's policy. It has everything to do with the country's laws. The country's law does not permit someone to take away your money and call it a forfeit because you defaulted on further payment, simply because you signed an application form. An application form is not a contract, and if someone has to take away your money for breach of performance of a contractual obligation, then he should have entered into a proper contract. Now, a contract has several requirements which an application form simply does not fulfill. Multiple reasons exist why an application form is not a contract. We need not get into it right now because I have spoken about it again and again and again. At this exhibition, or this, it's practically an Anand Mela. It's just a fun fair. Except it is a fun fair where the builders are going to have the fun, because they are looking at it as a killing field. They are looking at it, as I said, like a crocodile or a bunch of crocodiles looking at a place where people are going to come, where the deer will come to drink water, where the deer and the pigs and the other animals will come and drink water. That is a happy hunting ground. These guys are looking at it as a hunting ground. Now, you should not get confused and say, no, Krish, but I am not the hunted, I am the hunter. How are you the hunter? No, it's like this. I am very shrewd. I'm very smart. I'm very sharp. I'm not easy to fool. Nobody has fooled me before. And so I'm going to go and just get my general knowledge from these guys. Well, you can do that. You can expose yourself to the risk. I don't see why you should do that, but sure, you can expose yourself to the risk if that's what you want to do. Now, your best case scenario is you swipe the token and it is not a very large amount. It's 50,000, 1 lakh. And you will have the common sense to say, if I can't get it back, I'm going to let go of it, but I'm not going to buy the property. It's another story that I can help you. And I'm sure after this exhibition, a bunch of people are going to come to me saying, Krish, help us to get back the token. And then, well, videos will result from that. So your happy hunting ground is also my happy hunting ground. Okay. The builders are going to go hunting for tokens and booking amounts to forfeit. And maybe a few customers. I'm not saying that genuine sales can't happen in that environment. They can, but they are urgency driven. They are not driven by informed consent. They are driven by impulse purchase. The situation created is ripe for impulse purchase. The builders will get all that, and I'm going to make a bunch of videos where people come to me and say, Krish, help me to get my token back. Someone will have lost 50,000, someone will have lost 5 lakhs, someone will have lost 15 lakhs, someone will have entered very deep into the contract, and then we are going to fight. Because that's what I do. I help people fight for their money, for their forfeited amount or forfeited amount. Okay? Because the builders say forfeited. You know what it is? It's confiscated amount. The amount that has been confiscated from them by the builders. Unlawfully confiscated by the builders, I may add. Unlawfully. It's a criminal activity. There are a bunch of reasons why it is a completely criminal activity, but because you got a RERA, Real Estate Regulatory Authority, and they are seemingly regulating this kind of a criminal activity oriented industry, therefore it appears like it is not criminal. But the fact of the matter is that this industry is intrinsically unlawful in a variety of ways, even if you are not caught by surprise. Even if you did swipe your token and you completely knew, or you think you knew what you were getting into, let me tell you this, you still don't know what you're getting into, because there are a bunch of unnamed, unquantified, unquantifiable risks. So you think you are buying an asset? You are not buying an asset. An under construction property is not an asset. A property that is not even started, or a property that is 70%, 80%, 90% complete is not an asset, because there is no guarantee that it will get an occupancy certificate. No guarantee whatsoever. So it is not an asset. It is a promise. If it is a promise to deliver a certain amount or a certain kind of a benefit, like that is a house, if it's a clear promise, watertight promise, a promise without any leakages, then it could be called a security. What is a security? You give me 1000 rupees today, I am going to give you 5000 rupees after 10 years. That is a security. Okay, it is like a certificate. I'll give you this after 10 years. You give me 1000. Or I'm going to share my profit, and that profit will be verifiable, and that is another kind of a security called shares. So we just talked about two market type of securities. There are other types of securities like mutual fund units and so on and so forth. But those are securities, and securities have very clear boundaries. They are not half-baked, kacha pakka products where permissions will be taken or will hopefully be taken from various authorities. Building industry, under construction property is a kacha pakka hybrid product, somewhere between a good an item that is promised to you 4 years, 3 years hence, and that promise is very fluid. It can keep changing. So it is a product. It is also, it has got elements of service. It doesn't have any clear boundaries. There are a lot of fuzzy areas, a lot of places where the builder can fudge and play word games with you. And on the other hand, it's a security. But is it a security? Well, if you enter into a contract, an actual agreement, at the point after you have entered into the agreement, it is a security, although it is a very defective, highly dubious form of security. But that is after you have entered into a registered agreement, then it becomes what you can call a security. So what is it before that? What is it when you have just swiped a token and signed your name to a bunch of terms and conditions which you have not read and you have no comprehension of, because it's a very complicated bunch of terms and conditions. Even if you can read English like an expert, even if you're a lawyer, even if you are a genius, the chances are very high that you cannot read and understand that bunch of terms and conditions which runs into several pages, and the overwhelming likelihood is you will not read that bunch of terms and conditions. At least you will not read it in this exhibition. Standing in an exhibition, most unlikely that you are going to end up reading something serious which would take you 2 or 3 or 4 hours to read and understand and comprehend. You're not going to do that. So what are you going to do? You will be tempted by all kind of schemes, all kind of spot offers to swipe a token or to give them a promise. Okay, tomorrow you guys can come home and collect a check. Something like that. The overwhelming reality is people will end up paying with bank transfers or with, credit card swipes or debit card swipes or something like that. Once they do that, they have basically fallen into the trap of the builder, because the game here is to take your token and then use that token to force you to accept a schedule, a very tight schedule of payments. So they are going to say, oh, you swiped the token today. Great, now you have to pay as per our terms and conditions. You will have to pay the next one within 15 days. And what is it? If you swiped a token of 1 lakh, oh, now you have to pay 6 lakhs within 15 days. Okay, now you have to pay X amount within 30 days. So you will have to enter into registered agreement very soon, sir, within 30 days. And after that, you will have to pay us immediately for this much, another 5 lakhs, another 10 lakhs, another 20 lakhs. In this way, there is this it's like a sugarcane crushing machine, cut. It just sucks you in, it just pulls you in. You give them a token, it is like your fingers have gone into the sugarcane crushing machine, and then that machine will turn and it will pull your hand in. Now, if you realize that you are in a sugarcane crushing machine, some people realize it and they pull out. And when they pull out, the builder says, I'm going to take your fingers, boss. I'm just going to take your fingers, which is inside the machine. You've given us 5 lakh rupees. Say goodbye to your 5 lakh rupees. This is their method. And strangely enough, it's a criminal method. It's a completely criminal method. The word that one can use for this is ransom taking or extortion. Okay. Basically, you are holding the person to ransom. You are saying, okay, your 5 lakh rupees are gone unless you pay me another 10 lakh. You pay me 10 lakh. Okay, now 15 lakh rupees are gone unless you pay me the next thing. It's a very criminal kind of modus operandi, but it is followed in the building industry. And if you go to exhibitions, most likely you're going there because you just want to spend a very interesting evening, or you want to listen to the speakers at the conference, and then you want to attend the exhibition on the sidelines, because people do that. They want to hear the speakers, various speakers. They think it's a great way to increase their general knowledge. And some of it is true. Yes, there are good experts who will be addressing, and many of the people who are addressing are friends of mine as well. However, when you go into the exhibition, when you start visiting the stalls, however casually you may think you are doing it. You think you are doing it very casually. You think you are non-serious. You think you are entertaining yourself. Please be careful. It is like it is a hunter-hunted situation. They are hunting you. And they are very good at their job. That's the reason they are there. They want that incentive. They want a bite out of your flesh. Okay, they are looking for their incentive. They are looking for their livelihood. They intend to make their livelihood by tripping you up in terms of your logic. Your judgment, your willpower, everything is going to get tested if you start visiting stalls. And if you listen to even one guy seriously, and that guy starts sort of drilling down into your brain, they can change your psyche. You may think, hey, you know what, let me surprise my family by buying a villa plot and I can afford it. Your manly vanity or your womanly love of good stuffs in life and all that, the good life, it can land you. You will think you are buying a dream home or a dream plot of land. You are in deep trouble. Please don't go to a property exhibition, whether this one or any other. I'm Krish, the Urban Naxal. Jai Hind.